Hi. This tape I'm making a little bit mixed up because this is the first side. It says 1 on it, but actually I started on the second side last Friday. Today is Wednesday. On Friday I put it on because I wanted to, it was Nechama's birthday and the girls made a birthday party, so I thought that it would be so nice. I would make an introduction and then I would keep the tape on while they made her a birthday party. They made lots of rehearsals. And my mistake was that I didn't put it on for the rehearsal. I waited till the real thing. And it was a disaster. I don't know whether to erase the other side or not. But Dina and Sheva got into a big fight. You probably can hear it. And Nechama was miserable the whole time. And it was not at all a success. That's how it always is with children. You plan something and then it's not a success. But anyway, she really did like it, Nechama, but on the tape it sounds like a disaster area. But it was okay. Anyway, now it's a couple of days later, and all the kids in the neighborhood are standing here staring at me because I'm talking. I was talking out loud to myself, it looks like today. Nechama, see, I'm sitting on the porch. That's why they're all looking at me. It's such a pretty day that I just don't feel like being inside. Nechama's out here with me, so she's making noise. She's trying to play with the tape, so you'll hear her in the background. Wait, I just want to make sure that you can hear me. Just a second. There. Now my neighbors are looking at me, and they never saw a tape recorder before. One of them is trying to explain to the other one what I'm doing. Okay. Can you hear them in the background? They're talking. They're discussing what I'm doing. נחמדה? נחmada? You hear her? She's such a cutie. On Friday night, we went to Ellie's parents for Shabbat. And because of Nechama's birthday, I made this great cake. You'll see it in the pictures. You probably won't know what it is. It was Batsheva's idea. I made a sheet cake, and then I cut it into the shape of a flame, of a Lag BaOmer, bonfire. And I used the food coloring. I made icing, and I colored it. It looks really nice. And for the flame itself, I made yellow and pink and orange icing. But Sheva said, though, I have to have in the middle blue, because all bonfires have in the middle there. It's she noticed from fires they have in the middle blue, and the bottom part, which are the logs. So I made out of. I put white icing, and then on top of them I took a chocolate bar with a carrot peeler, and I peeled the chocolate so it came into these swirls that looked round, and they came into logs. So it was really a beautiful cake. It really was a work of art. It's really nice. There are so many things I wanted to answer from your tape. In the meantime, I got the letter that you sent to me after Daddy's going through, you thought that he would have to go through different tests and maybe have surgery. So that was quite a shock, since I looked at the date that you dated the letter, and it was before you spoke to me on May 3rd. And you didn't mention anything in the telephone, which I understand why, especially since everything in the end, thank God, came out okay. But, here it was a shock to learn of it so much time after it had happened. I got the letter yesterday, which was Sunday was the 24th, Monday 25th, which was the 26th of May, when you wrote the letter the 28th of April, so it took a month to get here. On the same day I got also the letter that you told me to sign the signature cards. So in a way it's good that I didn't send this with Sonia and Howard in the end, because I thought they would come here to say goodbye, but they didn't, and I had no way of getting it to them, and they left 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. So in the way it's good, because then we'll sign the signature cards, and I'll send that back with this. Plus, yes, it's going to take me one day to the consulate, and I'll get Nechama's social security number, so I can send all the information there. Anyway, I was very alarmed to hear about you, Daddy, but I'm very happy that everything in the end was okay. I don't know whether you explained everything now. You said that you would write more details later when you finished speaking to the doctors, but all I gathered was that they thought that Daddy would need open heart surgery, and now they decided that he doesn't need it. So that's all. That's what I understood, and that makes me very happy. And I also read that you said that Daddy's feeling as good now as he did when he got out of the Navy, and that his weight is down, and that he's riding his bicycle, and that so that also and that he's walking without a cane. So all these things make me very happy. But that was quite a shock, especially the way that you wrote the letter in the form of a diary. So I didn't know the good news until I read through the whole thing. Like, I was really bemetach, in suspense. Anyway, all's well that ends well. Let me see what else there is to tell you. I'm also in the middle of writing a letter, which you'll get with the tape. I'll send it all together. נחmada's in her walker now. She loves it. She walks all over with it. And I keep pushing her away, and she keeps coming back. You can't hear it. You can just imagine it. No. Oh, yeah. She's going down the steps. One of the wheels doesn't go well, so the walker keeps going like in a circle around one of the wheels. And she's not careful enough yet to realize that she can easily go down the steps. You can hear in the background she's walking all over the mirpesset. Let me see. I should have listened to your tape and taken notes. Yelso came over a couple days after I got your tape, and he listened to your tape. And you asked, you want to know what was with him, what's the matter with him, is it something serious that he has to be under doctor's observation? So he didn't understand why you understood that. I don't think he's under doctor's observation for his heart. It's just, everything's okay. It's just that he once in a while has to take nitroglycerin pills. But as far as he has another problem, not prostrate. He said it's not prostrate, but it's something with the urine. I don't know exactly what. And he has to take every month. He has to take a blood test and a urine test. And it's something, I don't know. And because of what it is, he doesn't like to talk about it. And I can't get it out of him. But it doesn't seem like it's anything serious. It's just a medical problem that he has. Maybe he needs an operation, they said, but he said it's not prostrate. He hopes not. But it doesn't sound like, it's just one of these things that when you get older that I guess happen. I don't know. But he was very depressed lately because a lot of his friends have died. A lot of them all at one time. Here comes Sri. You want to say hi to Mommy and Saba? Hi. Good. Yofi. אולי אם יהיה לך כיפה, זה יצא לך יותר. No, not now. Later when I finish making the tape. He's coloring a picture. He's real good at coloring. And he colors without going out of the line. He and Batsheva are making some really nice things. Maybe if they come out fairly good, I'll send them also. Anyway, so that's Yelso. He was very depressed for a while. It lasted for a couple of weeks. It was really, and one day he came. It was last Wednesday he came over, and we went to. He wanted to take me here. You walk down with him in Sanhedrin Morchevet, where they're building across from where Toby lives, where they're building an old age home. So we went down there and we walked in. It's not finished yet, but we could walk through a little bit until the watchman caught us and he told us to leave. So he was interested in finding out more about that. But he said that maybe even better than that, he's beginning to think is maybe if he has someone, the Kalivitcher told him, why go to an old age home? Why don't you just hire someone to come to your house twice a week to clean and to cook for you? Because he said he doesn't have patience anymore to clean and to cook, especially to cook. So I said I would cook for him, but he won't let. And he just is sick of it, of doing his laundry and all these things. He's too old, he's too tired, he's too lazy. So now we're just kind of looking to see, at least in the meantime, until he does find a place, whether he could find someone to cook and clean for him. So I'm also helping him do that. So far, I think I might have someone that would cook. She's my neighbor here. She would cook, but Yelso would have to pick up the food like twice a week. Because it would be hard to find someone that would be willing to go all the way out there. This is a woman that has children, and it's a way for her to add to her income, I guess. Anyway, that's Yelso. Otherwise, he's okay. I spoke to him one day at the beginning of this week. I guess it was the day before yesterday. He sounded great. He said he felt much better. He sounded really good. So, you know how it is with him, up and down. What else did you say in your letter? in your tape? Talk about lots of things. Anyway, the kids are fine. I took נחמדה to Tifat Chalav last week and she got a shot. What do you want, Buba? What do you want? Ada? You want Ada, da, da, da? I think she's getting a little bit sick of her walker. You want to get out? Oh, up with the hands, ears. Come on. Say hi. Say hi. Ah? 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 Of course she's not saying anything. Adi. Can you hear her breathing? Move. Hey. Hey. What we're thinking about now, I told you, is we're looking to buy an apartment. So we put our apartment up for sale. We put it in the papers because we wanted to see about approximately how much we could get for it. And the best way is to see what people offer you. Then we'll know about how much we can get for this apartment, and then we'll know, in what price range we could look to buy. So we put this apartment up for sale, and it's a nice time of year to do it. It's it's springtime now, and the flowers are blooming, and there's some pretty flower trees here, and everything looks nicer in the summer than it does in the winter. And we fixed up that other room, and we painted it, and we painted the bathroom and where the bathtub is, because it was a little bit. We had a professional painter do it, so it doesn't look like it's peeling, and the walls are straight. And Chana's playing with the tape. That's what the knocking noise is. So we put it in the papers for an ad, and we got a lot of response. Because one thing that we did find out, which was to my surprise and also to my happiness, to my pleasure, is that I always said, I always thought that we made a bad investment in this apartment. We liked the apartment when we bought it, and it has a lot of pluses that I like them even now. Like the fact that it has like a backyard, and it has plenty of mirpasot, and I like it being on the ground floor, and it's a very, very convenient area, with the 2 makolets here, and the fruit store, and the meat store, and the madashkot so close, and transportation. There are a lot of very, very nice things about this apartment. The rooms are nice and big. The ones that, the few that we have are nice and big. But I always thought, we could have bought, when we bought this, we could have also bought in Sanhedrin Murchevet, the Sochnut then, the Jewish agency then was giving apartments for New Orleans in Sanhedrin Murchevet. We could have gotten, they offered us a very small, it was a small 2-bedroom apartment in Sanhedrin Murchevet. And we didn't take it because Ellie and I, we both have our, idiosyncrasies, I guess you would call them. But we didn't want to be with all the Americans. We wanted to feel that we were part of the country, that we were living with Israelis. And we didn't like Sanhedrin Murchevet. It looked very ugly to us, like tenement housing, and no trees, and just building one, tall buildings, one looking into the other. And it was all new, we decided that we didn't like it. And I always thought that was a mistake as far as investment goes, because probably those apartments in Sanhedrin Murchevet are now worth so much more than this. And what I found was that that's not true. That right now in Sanhedrin Murchevet, a lot of people are selling, so the apartments can't go for very much. They're all, there's a lot of people selling, and not so many people wanting to buy. And that small 3-room apartment is the same price, that is even less, I think, than we could get for this, or about the same. At least not much more, not a whole lot more, because whoever would buy here isn't buying because they think our apartment's nice. They're buying because they want Pagi. They want this neighborhood, and whoever wants this neighborhood wants it a lot. Like for people who want it, it's a good neighborhood. So that's what I thought. So far we haven't sold it yet, but wait, here's Batsheva. You want to say hi to Mommy and Sada? What?
איפה? את מכירה רחובות, שמות של רחובות, חוץ מרמת אשכול וקריית משה ובר אילן זה רחוב ובר אילן.
הרבה רחובות אני מכירה. But everyone wants to know if I know names of streets. You want me to tell you names of streets? Rehov Harav Frank, that's where Safta lives. Rehov Harav Kuk, there's a street that's called Rehov Harav Kuk. Rehov Yafo, that's the main street in the city. Rehov Ben Yehuda, that's where the Mashbir is. Rehov HaMelech George. George, he was the king of England. Rehov HaPiska, that's Beit Vagan. I once lived there. What other streets are there? You want more? There's Ramat Gan. There's Mastik? What do you need it for? For your homework? Okay. Okay. No, Mommy and Papa are hearing all that we're saying. V, you want to sing Old MacDonald with me? Okay, just a minute. You want to sing Old MacDonald? Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on his farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O, with a moo, Piggy, here, and a moo, Piggy, there, here a moo, there a, everywhere I moo moo. Old MacDonald, come closer. Come. Come closer. Let's have a look at it. Now Tzvi's playing with Nechama's walker. It's for Nechama, not for you. E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had a dog. What's a dog?
Oh, wow.
Right. And on his farm he had a dog. Oh. Now we're all singing in chorus. Peach. Peach is enough for 6. What? Yes, there's Rehov Harav Frank. Frank. That's where Sasha lives, Rehov Harav Frank. Anyway, so that was to our surprise that we see that our apartment wasn't such a bad investment after all. So we there were like 3 people that were interested. They sort of dwindled down. Now there's like 1 or 2. They're not interested in buying. They're interested in bargaining with us. But as I said, we're not in a rush, and we just wanted to advertise once to see. You don't sell an apartment after advertising it just once usually. So we'll have to put it up again and again as soon as we find something. And that's the hardest part, is finding something that, to move to, not to make a mistake, and that it should have an apartment that would have everything that I want. Ellie says you can't wait till your dream house comes along. When you decide to buy, you have to choose from what there is. So it's very hard. The reason why I'm thinking about it now. What's the matter? Hey. The reason why I'm thinking about it today is because I just came back from looking at an apartment. It's in the perfect location, just where we would love to live, except for it's on the 6th floor. There's an elevator, but I walked up today without the elevator because I wanted to see what it would be like on Shabbatot. 104 steps. So it's quite high. And it's the 6th floor, but it's a very nice apartment. It has I'll say the bad things and then I'll say the good things. The bad things are that it's so high up, 6th floor. I'm sort of spoiled. I would like a ground floor apartment. Although, there's advantages to the top apartment because you have light and you have the view. But I don't know, it gives me the creeps. I just can't imagine the kids, I don't know, it's just scary to me. On the refrigerator, on the makar. Not the sal, in the sakik.
In the sakik. מה זה עם העצים קטנים?
אולי.
עגבניות או לא?
No, תסתכל. אני לא יודעת, תראה לי. Tell me what you're taking out and I'll tell you. Anyway, so it's But I'm afraid of the top floor. I really am, and it's just also, I think, I can't send the kids out. I won't let them go down on the elevator. They can't reach it. It's not for kids to clown. It's just to think that they have to go down 100 steps before they can first go outside. I don't know. That's one bad thing. Another bad thing is that it must be freezing there in the winter, because it's completely open. There's no one on top and no one on the side. So it seems like it would be a very cold apartment. Very cold apartment. And I like it to be warm in the winter. I don't like the cold at all. I'm spoiled in that way also. And the directions, it faces east and west. So the morning the sun comes in, and the afternoon the sun comes in. So that's not good. The best direction is to be south. South is the sun. Like our apartment faces south in Pagi. We don't have that much sunlight because of the building blocks it, but on the top floor, if you're already living on the top floor, at least you should be facing south. The good points of it are that it has 3 bedrooms. Of course, it's a living room and 2 bedrooms, and they made the 2 bedrooms into 3. So it was 2 bedrooms, and off one of the bedrooms was a mirpeset. So they closed the mirpeset. They built a wall up to the mirpeset. And then they redivided the walls so that with the mirpeset they could make the 2 rooms into 3, if you see what I mean. The only problem is that the middle room, they're not teeny rooms. They're the same. The size is okay, but the middle room doesn't have any windows to it because it's sandwiched between 2 other rooms, and it's one of the sides that's facing. It's attached to another apartment on the other side, so it doesn't have a window. If you know what I mean. So that's a minus also, because I just couldn't stand even to be in there. It was so, claustrophobia, like you would say. What they did do is they didn't build a wall. One of the walls is a wall, and the other one is a glass sliding door, which opens up to the third room, which has a lot of sun. So you could, it does have a little bit of sun, but it's a little bit far away from the sun. I don't know. I'm just telling you all this, not because we're thinking about it seriously. It's just that I just came home from looking at it. No. Mutar, you can take off a beef and give it to נחמה, but not for Zar'in. הנה, אני אעשה. אני אקח ביף.
אבל תוציא את ה...
לא, תאכל מסביב. נחמה!
למה? מה זה?
נחמה!
אז תאכלי את זה.
I don't know what to do with these children. I buy 2 kilos of peaches every day, and they eat it. 4 pounds. No, if you stand on it, it'll break. It's for a baby. It's not for you. But Shev was standing on the walker. And they eat up all the peaches as if the peaches were... What oshtai? A parsakim? No, b'shum panim v'ofen. Oh, no. But Shev is telling me that they didn't eat up all the peaches. They left 2. I bought 2 kilos yesterday. You're laughing. Ellie says better they should eat up fruit than, he doesn't like to limit them on fruit, that they should eat as much as they want. The problem is, Venus will eat anything else but fruit. That's the only thing he eats. So I guess they should eat a lot. Anyway, that's where we stand right now. We haven't sold our apartment and we haven't bought. And I'm not sure what you're supposed to do first. Sell first or buy first? See, some people say you have to buy first, because if you sell and you don't buy, in the meantime the money loses its value, and you can't just sell and promise people you'll leave before you know where. Then you're balachat, you have to quickly buy. Other people tell us, don't buy first and then sell. First sell and then buy. I forgot why. Because if you buy first, then you have to sell your apartment immediately, right, to make the payments. Because here in Israel you have to pay everything all at once, or more or less at once. So how can you sell first, and then, so you have to, if you buy first and then sell, then you have exactly like a week between, you have to quickly sell your apartment to make the first payment on. So I don't know who's right. I don't know. It's a complicated business. One other thing about this apartment is that there are no mirpasot, because they closed in all the mirpasot to enlarge the apartment. They made a larger kitchen that way, and the bedroom and the living room is very large. That was one good thing. It's even bigger than our room here. It was something like there would be plenty of room for the piano plus all of Ellie's books. It was a nice sized living room, but But so there are no mirpasot in the apartment. But since it's the top floor, there's the roof. You don't have to go up to the roof. It's like a penthouse apartment. But it's not really, because the roof doesn't belong to the apartment. But they say that the neighbors don't mind. You know, they use the roof. She hangs up her laundry on the roof, and Ellie said we could make a garden on the roof. You know, we could buy, put a lot of plants on the roof. And the roof, of course, has a railing around it. But it gave me the creeps. I couldn't even stay on there. It's just, I don't know. I guess I have a fear of heights. I don't know. And also the other plus about the apartment is that they're selling it for very little, and it's really Ellie's a little bit suspicious of the price, because the same apartment there usually goes for like $15,000 to $20,000 more than what they're asking for, so it's a bargain. But Ellie says there are no bargains in apartments, and if they're asking for so little, there must be something wrong. Maybe it's freezing there Ellie thinks there must be a freezer there in the winter. I don't know. But the location is good, and the size is good, and the price is good. But the directions are not good, and the height is not, the floor is not good. And that little room there without any windows is not good. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Other than that, we're all fine. I think I was telling you that נחmada got a shot last week, but she's better. Don't sit on the walker, Tzvi. Get off. No, אני לא מרשה. גזר, אתה יכול לקחת. מלאך השנים אין, אני צריכה לקנות בחנות עוד מעט. מקולף אז תביא לי, אני אקלף. או שתקלף לך. Careful, don't step on the phone. What else is there to answer? I can't think of what other things to ask me. I'm interested. You told me all about your Pesach and with Stanley and his friends. I forgot whether that's Julie. I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of nice. It sounded nice. It sounded nice that you went back to their apartment. It's like you had a nice stay there. Your Pesach was, I didn't tell you about Pesach. I just was very busy before Pesach, cleaning for Pesach, but everything went smoothly this year. Last year I was in my 9th month of pregnancy, and that was pretty hard. And the year before that we were in America, and before we left I had very little time to clean up. But this year things went, very nicely. I wasn't, Ellie and I worked hard, and Ellie didn't help me very much. I let him, do what he wanted. He helped me a little bit in the last couple of days. And for the stay there, we were at my in-laws. And wait a second, what was the stay there? Oh, it was okay. They geared it for the children. It was a small stay there. Okay, I have to show you how to peel a carrot. You have to be very careful. And you put it here. Okay? And you put the klipot in the kiyor. Okay? No, not with this. With this. Wait, here. לא מזה, מכאן, זה הולך באמצע. תראה, זה יוצא משם. Okay. Careful. Ken, that's right. Don't put it on your finger. No? Okay. No? יופי, הנה, קטע.
מה? אלו אוכלים אותם?
לא, מורידים אותם עם המקלות.
עם זה?
תראה, אני אראה לך עוד כך.
טוב,
No, לא ככה. No, with the middle part.
טוב.
הנה, אתה רואה, זה הולך באמצע. Do it in the sink, okay? במטבח תעשה את זה, על הכיור. The klipot, don't put them on the floor. Okay. He's peeling himself a carrot seed. The Seder, they geared it for the kids because Toby's family wasn't there. It was just us, Ellie and I and the kids, and my in-laws and their sons. So I thought it was nice. Although we're used to a bigger Seder, for the children it was great. Hi, right? You saw the Mashbir?
Okay.
Good. Tzvi went on a tiyul today with his class. They went on a tiyul because it's Odmat Yom Yerushalayim, and he's telling you all the things that he saw. You know, instead of saying he saw the landmarks, the old city, he saw the Mashbir. That for him was a landmark. That's where he said he saw the place where there's a car that you put in money and you ride on it. That's how he remembers the Mashbir. Anyway, this tape is coming to an end, and when you turn over on the other side, I'm going to let you listen to Nechama's birthday party, which was a disaster, and then I'm going to finish. There'll be more time. Okay, just a minute. So you'll listen a little bit to her birthday party, and then you'll continue till the end, and you'll hear. I'll talk. Sorry about this tape, it's not the greatest, but I told you all about Yom HaAtzmaut in the letter, and about Pesach I think I also told you in the letter, and I really have nothing special to say, so that's why I'll let you listen to all of Nechama's birthday party, even though there are times when Nechama doesn't sound so happy, and I had a house full of kids. My friend Sila Rosenberg, that's an interesting story. She just sold her apartment because they're moving to a place called Efrat. It'll be near Beit Lechem. And they just had really a lot of luck. They sold it to someone from America who was only in the apartment about 3 minutes and decided he liked it, and he made a lawyer power. Hi, today is Friday, Lag BaOmer, and it's Nechama's birthday. And this is just going to be an introduction, and then I'm going to turn the tape on. The good Batsheva and Tina and Aderet and Tzvi have planned the Yom Huledet for Nechama. So they're setting everything up now, and Ellie's going to take pictures, and I'm going to keep the tape going. So you'll have, if you put it together, you'll have almost true to life. Anyway, it's Friday afternoon, so things are pretty hectic. But I don't know where they disappeared to. I think they're looking for flowers to make her a keter, you know. She has to wear a crown because it's her birthday. And maybe in the background you can hear Nechama playing, and you can hear Tzvi and Yoel playing on the bicycle. But Sheva and Tzvi share the bicycle now. Tzvi's old enough, but he can't do it without the training wheels. Zuzu, get out of the way! But Sheva can do it already without the training wheels, so sometimes I have to put them on for Tzvi so he won't feel too left out. So I'm going to turn it off now. I don't know how long it's going to take the birthday party, but then whatever there's left, I'll try to talk. Ellie's aunt and Uncle Sonia and Howard are leaving, I think, Sunday morning. So I'll send this, 2 rolls of film and 2 rolls of movie film and a letter that I've been writing since Pesach time around, all together. So, okay, so I'll turn it off, and when they get everything all set up, then I'll turn it on for the birthday. And turn it back on again. I wanted to remind you to look at the pictures of the birthday, of these pictures. I noticed that Bashev and Nechama are wearing matching dresses that I made. You mentioned I told you that I was going to make them a dress. I'll tell you the story of the dress afterwards. Okay, bye. So now you heard Nechama's birthday party, but it wasn't anything so great. Although you could hear the kids playing, and you could maybe tell that they planned something really well. Nechama wasn't as unhappy as she sounded. She actually quite enjoyed all the attention. Anyway, now, what am I going to tell you in the rest of this tape? I was telling you that Sheila Rosenberg, you know she is the Bloom's daughter, the Blooms that live there in Florida that you met when you were here. So their daughter lives here in Ramada School. And she has a daughter who's in Batsheva's school. They go together to school, Mira. She has 5 children, and she's expecting her 6th in the summer, and her parents are coming. They're coming in the middle of June. You probably won't get this before, but if you do, so you can send with them, things, tape or pictures or something, because they'll be coming from Florida in the middle of June. The only thing I need that I wish that someone would send me, but it's not really important, is a couple pairs of underwear for Tzvi, but he gets all of the Sheva's hand-me-downs, and I just feel a little bit sorry for him. I feel very sorry for Tzvi that he's always wearing flowered underwear. That's the only thing I could think of that I need from there. If you remember, if you happen to, or you could send with the blooms. Anyway, so they're coming. I just said that Sheila sold her apartment. She had the greatest deal. I know, I see. Yossi. Wait just a second. Anyway, I was saying, until Subi came over, just now it's a while later, is that Sheila had the greatest deal. She sold her apartment. But Teva, careful, it's going to fall down the steps. Careful, but Teva, be careful. No, but Teva, careful, there's another step. Okay, good. Okay. Good. Okay, but Teva took נחמדה off the near perfect. Now she's walking all around the נחmada. Cutie. What was I saying? They bought an apartment in Efrat. That's going to be near Beit Lechem, and it's only going to be ready in another year. But they had to sell their apartment already to make the payments on this house. So they sold it. They got the greatest deal because נחmada doesn't look to where she's walking. Just a second. Anyway, as I've been trying to tell you, they got this good deal because it's this American that he was here in Jerusalem for 2 days and he had to buy an apartment. And he had an agent who took him around to like 10 different apartments. And he saw their apartment among others and he didn't like it best. Theirs was second choice. But the other apartment that was first choice fell through. So they became first choice. And here it wasn't, he disappointed his agent, his power of attorney. He paid the price that they were asking for, more or less, and which doesn't ever happen. You know that when you say a price, that means you're going to go down. You know, you have to give yourself a leeway. So, and then not only that, but he's not ready to come on Aliyah now for a while, so he's willing to make payments the same amount in the same time that they have to make payments, and he'll let them stay in the apartment. This way they thought they would have to sell now and then move somewhere else and pay rent. And they don't have to pay rent, so it just worked out for them fantastic. I wish the same for me. This person lives in Fort Lauderdale. She said, Sheila, that she called up her parents to that they should go find out who he is. You know, to make sure he's not a fraud and that he's not that this address is existing, that he's not making up things. But anyway, that's the news. So they're glad to have gotten that over with. She's expecting in like a month or 2 months or so. And her parents are coming in 3 weeks. So this is all taken care of at least, by then. So that's really great. I'm really happy for them. Anyway, so they're coming. They got an apartment for them nearby, right across the street from them, also in the beginning of Ramat Eshkol here. But Shevin Street took Nechama and they put her in, that on the back of your Kesset, they put her on that pathway, and she's in the walker. She's running all around. It's really adorable. Let me see. What else should I tell you? Auntie Gloria is coming. So today is the end of May. So she'll be here in like 2 weeks. That's right. It'll be another 2 weeks. So Arlene was here last week for a week. But she wasn't at our house, so she was in some kind of a program where they had a week of tiulim and lectures, and they stayed at this like youth hostel type, and it was too far away from here, so she just stayed there so she can get to her classes on time and everything. She had a great time. But we sort of planned out Auntie Gloria's trip that she'll go when they first get here. Arlene will meet them at the airport and take them to Akko, and they'll stay with her for 3 or 4 days. To talk to her, to see her, and then she figures they'll rent a car, and they'll go drive around the Galil, maybe up part of the Golan from Akko, which makes sense because it's so close. They'll go to Rosh Hanikra, and they'll go to maybe the beginning of Ramat Golan, and they'll go to the Galil, maybe, Sfat and all those places. And then they'll come to Jerusalem for a week, and they'll stay here. and then we'll take them around. Arlene also now knows pretty much about Jerusalem after being on this lecture thing that she was on. That's what they did. They traveled all around Jerusalem. And then last week, they'll be here for 3 weeks, so the last week she said she'll let them decide what they want, where they want. Maybe they want to go south, and maybe they just want to relax, and maybe they want to go back to Akko, whatever. So that's coming up soon. That's exciting. It'll give me something to look forward to. Let me see what else. What else is there to say? Toby's fine. She had a very nice trip. It was hard to come back. I know the feeling after being on vacation. It's sort of hard to come home and then have to get back into a rut of cooking and cleaning and missing everybody and everything. But it was a very good thing for her, although that she's not out of it yet. She's still very depressed, and I guess she will be until she becomes pregnant again and until everything goes okay, because now she has the fear. She has the fear that, that she won't get pregnant so quickly, because for a long time she didn't get pregnant so quickly, and also that once she does, that the same thing would happen again, or that her pregnancy won't be good, or, whatever. So she's very, she's kind of depressed now. And I just hope everything quickly goes okay. Ellie's father came back. It was about 2 weeks before Pesach. I must have. Yeah, I know. I didn't tell you that then because he was still in America when Toby went to America. So he has all kinds of stories of how he went to the different schools there. He went all over from, to different schools, and he said the subject of Israel, whereas 10 years ago it was very prevalent in the curriculums, and any Jewish school would also talk about Israel unless they were anti-Zionist. But I'm talking like the Hebrew Academy type schools. Now they just forgotten about it. It's like they're used to it, or they just forgotten about it. And he was there to awaken them to the idea of Israel and to see some people looking at me. They're walking by and staring at me. I don't know what there is so much to look at. Okay, now they walk by. You can hear Sri and Batsheva playing in the background. See, how can I get this on the 6th floor where they could go out? I get spoiled. I don't know. What can I tell you? My friend, Laura Rekanaki, I think I told you this in the letter maybe. She was our neighbor in the Mesperet. She just had a baby. But under not so good circumstances, she got hepatitis in her 9th month, so she had to be in the hospital in complete isolation. She was to go visit her, you had to wear a hospital gown and everything. And while she was in the hospital, she started having contractions, and she went into labor, and she gave birth. And right after she gave birth, they took away the baby, and the baby's in complete isolation from other babies, and she was in complete isolation from the baby. In other words, they didn't let her even nurse the baby. They didn't even let her see the baby. She couldn't, it was pretty, it wasn't, no, but Seva, no, don't put her there. Just let her run around in the shvil. Let her run around in the shvil. But Seva, no, Shama, תתני לה לרוץ. It wasn't a sad thing. It was at the end, all's well, everything was good in the end. But it's kind of hard, I think, to give birth and then not to be able to see your baby for I think about a week and a half. After she got out of the hospital, she went to her mother's and her parents in Tel Aviv, and she was there. She just had to recover. She was so weak from hepatitis, and then also from giving birth. So she was there for a while. Now, this all happened about 3 weeks ago, so now I heard that she's going back. She lives in Elon Moreh, which is, a settlement in the Shomron. We're going there for Shabbat. Not to Gvora and Avram, we'll be with another family, but we were supposed to go there right after Yom HaAtzmaut, but it didn't work out. So we want to go there this Shabbat. What else can I tell you? There's a lady here, I'm looking, one of my neighbors here opened up a falafel store. Real close, if you remember where the vegetable store is, fruits and vegetables, even closer than that. So I really admire her. She has 2 children, and she got the recipe how to make falafel. She bought a lot of hummus, and she makes it herself, and she sells it for they make a terrific profit on this falafel. She sells a chatzi mana now, costs 30 pounds. It must cost maybe like 10 pounds to make. So I see her. She lives here, so she walks up and back. She's walking back. She just walked by now with a big bowl full of falafel dough or something. It's good for people like me that are sometimes too lazy to make lunch. You could just buy a falafel. It's not good for diets and things like that, right? Tonight's Wednesday, so I go to my host, that I started even when you were here. Wednesday nights I go to my class on how to be a good mother. I find it very interesting and reassuring, and to hear other people have also problems, and also to get good ideas on how to solve certain problems. So I like it a lot. I'm playing here with this. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's called I think a Rubik's cube or something like that. It's this cube that has all different colors on it, and you can turn it any which way. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And the idea is to make every side one whole color. Toby brought it back from us when she was in America. This is a present that she brought, and it's a terrific waste of time, and it's very hard. I can get one side, but I can't get 2. The object is to get 6, so I really don't know how it's possible. Do you have one of these things? Maybe Daddy in your spare time. Here in Israel, there's someone that figured out how to do it. They said they would sell it cost 600 pounds to buy, which is, $6? And there's someone who's selling the solution for 400 pounds, for another $4. So for $10 you can have one and also the solution. But it's such a waste of time. Sometimes I just find myself like now I'm holding it in my hand and I just fool around with it. But I can't get it done. I can't figure out how to... Once you get one side done, in order to do another side, you have to mess up the first. So, I don't know. Let me see what else is here to tell you. I'd like to know more about Brian when he's going to Germany. It seems like I'm asking this for about 1.5 years now. When he's going, what does נחmada have in her mouth? So please give me a taste of my hair. זה מסוכן לה. בהר. רגע, אני אעשה את זה. She was chewing on a peach pit, which is a little bit too big. You have to be very careful that she doesn't put that in her mouth, okay, Batsheva? Anyway, so I want to know what's with Brian. Every time I ask, I get the answer like pretty soon. Stanley, when he called, it was in March. He said that by April 15th he's moving, and then May 15th, and now you wrote in the letter that he's coming to Florida on June 15th. Oops. So I don't know whether that means he's coming to Florida June 15th, and then from there they're leaving for Germany, or just they gave up Germany, or what? So I'd like to know. I got a nice letter from Uncle Teddy. Every once in a while we write to each other. He didn't say very much. I can't think of what else to say. I really can't think. No. So Batsheva, come and talk. Batsheva says she also doesn't know what to say. We went on the Tiyul today. I don't remember if I told you this or not. This whole Seder they went on the Tiyul to East Palpio, where there's a beautiful view of the old city. It was a Tiyul in honor of Yom-Yerushalayim, which is on Monday. Okay, now Batsheva wants to say hi. That's all you're going to say is hi, Mommy and Saba? Nechama's banging the wall of the house, and she wants to knock it down. Boy, she's so happy today. She gave me a hard night last night. She just got a bad cold. So last night, no, Ani lo Marsha. They have this new thing now, climbing in through the window. No, but Sheva, a window is not to climb into. The doors are to go through. The windows are to just let the light in. He understands me, my English, perfectly well. He also, I think, understands, but he doesn't say a word, whereas the Sheva does. She keeps going to English class. She supposedly is learning to read. I don't really know how much that class does for her. She never has gone willingly, and she still doesn't go willingly. But I guess it's my duty to send her. Ani lo shamati. She's telling me something, but I can't hear. Lo shamati. Anyway, is this tape ending ever? Seems like I've been talking for so long, and it's I don't know what else to say. With Mami Masada Shalom, the Sheva says I should say. Our friend Odet, I don't think you know who he is. His mother died this week, so we've been paying Shiva calls. Wait, just a second. After I stopped, I was looking for my place on the tape again, and I let the tape run out a little bit past where I'm talking, and I thought this was a tape of class that Ellie had recorded that I could tape on top, but I hear that what I'm taping on top of now is tape that I made to you when I was in my first year in Israel, and I can't place it now because now it's already to the end. But I'm telling you about the hotel or something. Not the first time that I was there, but one of the times that I was there. It's a shame that I'm recording on top of it, but I already messed up this part, so I guess I might as well just finish. So let me think what else to say. Wait a second. I was kind of listening to the tape, what I was talking about. It's kind of cute, so maybe if I don't finish, you can hear a little bit of it. Batsheva's now on her bicycle. Batsheva's riding her bicycle, and Tzvi's pushing נחmada in the walker. Tzvi! Batsheva! I think they got a little bit too far. No in נחmada, אני לא מרשה. They had this idea of going around the block. He's pushing נחmada in the walker and Batsheva riding the bicycle, but I'm not going to allow such a thing. It's a little bit too, she's having a great time, נחmada. Anyway, now I remember you asked how my teaching's going and how my lessons are going. Oh, now the telephone's ringing. Just a minute. Okay, now I thought of a couple things to tell you. That was Ellie on the telephone. One is that you asked how the piano lessons are going. So now they're going fantastically. I have so many students. I have to turn away students. I have too many. It was a slow start at the beginning of the year, but now it's become, it's like you build up a reputation, and I think I'm a good teacher, and I enjoy what I'm doing. And there are a lot of, by word of mouth, there are a lot of people that are very, very interested. And I don't have time. I like teaching lessons, but my object isn't making tons of money. I also am a mother. The whole idea is that, I help support the income, but I don't want to take on too much so that I'm not free with the kids. At least, this way I do it 2 mornings and 2 afternoons, and that's enough. Also, if I do it too much, I'll get really sick of it. I won't enjoy it anymore. It'll just be I won't be able to stand it anymore. So this way, it's kind of nice. You asked how my recital went. So it was all right. Arlene was here, and I set up the living room like Mrs. Goss, and then in the hallway, where the table and chairs are. So I made, punch and cookies, just like Mrs. Goss used to do. And I didn't have, some of my students refused to play, and the adult ones also didn't want to play. So there were only 5 students that played, and they didn't play very well. I have to admit that it was pretty crummy. But the parents, the most important thing is the parents really enjoyed it. And Arlene was there to give me criticism, like what she saw that my kids played good and what they didn't. And it was important for the children, to see to feel that they're doing something and that, to make a performance. At the end of the year, I want to have something like an audition for them. I don't know, though. I have to get a judge who has to be a piano teacher, and I don't really know any other piano teachers. I have one friend who's a piano teacher, two friends. One lives in Telson and one lives in the Bay Line, and that's kind of far to ask someone to come. So I don't know exactly what will be. Anyway, that was one thing. Another thing is I told you about my giving milk to this baby. So I only did it for like 1 week or so, because then afterwards the baby was thriving so well in all this mother's milk that she was discharged from the hospital. And then the mother had all the names of the mothers that were donating milk, and I guess she called those that donated the most. I guess I didn't have very much to, it wasn't worth it for them to call me. I don't know exactly, but that's okay. I'm still nursing נחmada, and she's like almost 13 months old, which is, I don't know how to stop, I'm beginning to think, well, I guess I am stopping in a way. She's down to once a day or once every other day, so little by little. But anyway, the day after I made that tape to you, it was Saturday night, I remember, when I told you about this baby, and Toby left Sunday morning. So that Sunday morning, I got a phone call from the radio station. It's like they have this human interest program in the mornings. They just have music and things for housewives and all kinds of interesting things. And they heard about this baby, and they called the hospital, and the hospital gave them my name. I think because I must have been, just by coincidence, they gave them my name. Maybe I was the first one on that page or whatever. So they called me up and asked me if I'd be willing to talk on the radio, to be interviewed through the radio. So I said, no, I refused, but Arlene was here. So she said, why not? She prodded me on. So I said I would agree if it would be anonymous, because I was embarrassed with all of them, still, after all. So then they called me back like a half hour later, and I was interviewed on the radio. I managed to call my mother-in-law and tell her to turn on the radio to hear me, and she managed to call Shoshana to tell her to turn on the radio and hear me. So it was really, I was so nervous before they called me back. I couldn't eat, and I was thinking, what should I say? And my Hebrew will probably get all goofed up. But they asked me, how old my baby is, and wait just a second. And they asked me, how I heard about the baby. They asked me some questions, and then it was very short. Then something happened to the connection, and they cut me off. And they didn't call back. They just said, thank you very much, and all that. Afterwards, I thought, it was so easy to talk on the radio. I had a lot of things to say to Am Yisrael. I had a lot of things I wanted to talk about. If they would have only asked me, I would have told them my opinion on lots of things, on Judah and Samaria and on the upcoming elections, but they didn't ask me those questions. But it was really great. It was really funny. I was excited for a couple days. Anyway, those were the couple things that I wanted to tell you about. And now I say I'm coming to the end of the tape. So I'm going to sign off and say goodbye and hope to hear from you real soon. If not through Auntie Gloria, then through Sheila Rosenberg's mother and father that are coming. And I'll try to send, this will be with pictures and a letter and the signature cards and the harmony. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. Please say goodbye to Mommy and Shabbat. Sweet, sweet, sweet. She ran away. Say goodbye.